Hello and welcome to our podcast, Real Out Loud. Life happens, we get it. Join us and together we'll be engaging in conversations about the truths not spoken of, reflections about life and other issues, and experiences that reel or bring women off balance. I'm your host and my name is Nicole, and joining me will be my co-host, Pinkinia, and on our platform we'll have guests from different facets of life, some who have also had it real with life, and some professionals to give us information on these reflections as we figure out how to survive the real. Stay tuned.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another exciting and informative episode on our podcast, Real Out Loud. And of course, I always walk with Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Pinky. How are you?
I'm good. Let me introduce you to the people with the most. I have Donald Chikukwa in the house. Donald.
Greetings, Pinky and Nikki. Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm good.
And we also have Miss Vimbai Donald. Hi, Vim.
Hi, Pinky. Hi, Nick. How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right, let us jump right into it. Today, we are going to be talking about what to do with my ex stuff. Some of us have stuff from the exes. So the question is, what to do with that stuff? Nick.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Pinky. Today, we're going to be talking about instances where we actually find imbalance, and those things can actually have an influence either negatively or positively on our relational patterns. So today's topic, it's just on track, is we're going to be exploring, do these things from my ex or these things that I treat with a certain, level of sentimental value really matter if I keep them, or should I let them go? Am I letting go of the emotional bond, or am I holding on to things that can actually rekindle dead fires?
Vimbai.
I would like to start off by posing a question to say, what effect would they give if you keep them? Are you going to remember the person in a good way, or you're going to remember the person in a bad way? And I actually think the reason why people have different sentiments about keeping your ex's stuff is because of how you guys break. If you call it off in a more amicable way, I don't think you will have emotions over the things that you have. You actually have good memories. But then if it is something that just was nasty, it's like you want to get rid of them because it's going to be blissful amnesia of an awful past. That's what I think.
For us who have kept, for us who still have certain things from our past relations, is it that we are holding on to the sentiment, or is it because we can't just discard belongings? Imagine you have something that is of value. You've got a car, you've got a house, you've got a phone. Is it going to be that easy to just discard it because it is somehow associated to your past?
Okay. What I think here is it's a little bit complex when we look at it in that way. But I think when people get in relationships, they get in those relationships for different reasons. So you find that some people have been in a long distance relationship working on getting married. They've accumulated wealth, property in that journey, right? And then that relationship falls apart. What they've accumulated is part of their economic value. But then when we talk of maybe social media pictures, they can bring out different sets of input. But what I think is, what is important is the you part. Are you at peace with yourself? Are you progressing? Are you putting out the positive energy in the relationship you are in? I think that's all that matters. Are you at peace? If you keep them, do you find peace having them? And do you feel comfortable in the current relationship? Are you exerting? Are you being fair, giving out the same exact positive energy that's needed in your relationship? If you are doing that, I think there shouldn't be any problem.
what was the longest relationship that you were in, so that we actually get to see what you accumulate. Let's talk small things: t-shirts, shirts, jewelry. Okay, maybe an engagement ring. What's the longest relationship that you have been in, and what did you accumulate from it?
I think for my relationship, the longest I've been in was for 3 years. But the thing, there's nothing wrong with that, Pinky. But the one thing that was most sentimental for me in that relationship, not that I didn't get bigger gifts, but the one thing that that was of sentiment for me was a picture frame. Our picture, me and that person. What happened at the end of the day was that I had to let go of the picture, no matter the fact that it didn't matter. For me, it was not because the picture doesn't cost me anything or it doesn't have any value, but it was about the sentiment that I decided I needed to let go of.
Well, mine, I had one from university, and I carried it in my professional life. So I think it's more like 4 years. And in those 4 years, we registered a company. We did quite a lot of progress together. And when things fell apart, we had only bought each other assets. You begin now to see that there was a lot of investment. It was more like
Donald, sorry, I need to jump in right now. What happened to the company? What happened to the company?
Well, if you go and check it now, it's in the process of deregistering. They tried to snatch it away from me. Then I said, if it's gonna be done, let it be done the professional way. So it ended up us sharing the company, and it's just deregistering like that. No investment, no activity, nothing is happening. And those emails of flight tickets, they remind you how much flight ticket you paid going there. and the shops will be telling you, we now have an updated fridge if you want to buy another one. Then you remember, oh, I bought this person a fridge, but it's never gonna come. So it's a matter of do you find peace? Mostly if they're assets, I think the better you just let them be. If they are not other things that are menial like clothes, the other things you can just let them be, because when you did them, you were in love. You did them for love.
They're a mark of a notable point in your relationship.
Yes, so it was love expressing itself. So you don't have to be refunded for being in love. No, but things that can maybe return. I think maybe what you can take down are pictures if they remind you of that person. But you can't go claiming with a notebook, I bought you pizza, then I bought you this ring. You can't.
I think people go back to claim because they are feeling pain and they want to see you suffer.
Yes.
So if I bought you a fridge, it's not long about the fridge. It's about, now I want you to go back to that point where you had nothing. I want to make you feel the same pain I'm feeling right now because of how things have ended. Like Vimbai said at the beginning, if you end the relationship in an amicable way, you are able to let go of those things without them holding you back. To say, I bought this, I did this for that person. You don't count those things. But if it does...
I would actually like to differ,
okay.
In my encounter, right, we did break up amicably, right? That was donkeys ago, right?
Okay.
Stop laughing.
Okay, I believe you.
The breakup was amicable, right? But what happened is, in that breakup, from my part, I thought the breakup was, we did it amicably, like, okay, this is it, we have run out, bye. But a week after that breakup, I see someone at the gate. Hi, I am sent to collect a suitcase, a phone, a line, a SIM card.
SIM card!
One top, one trouser, and 2 pairs of flip-flops, They had a list of the things that they needed to collect, and I had to pack those things and give back.
No, but it was within your right to refuse, because they are yours now. They are yours now. You are the one who gave me these things, and they now belong to me. So I have to be the one to decide what happens to those things. If I want to bend them, if I want to give them back to you, or if I want to donate them to charity, it's on me.
I think, by the way, it's good to make people know that the law actually protects you. If I give you something, it's now your property. But anyway, I know Vimbai break it. I can't wait.
I guess it's my turn.
Let's hear.
I dated someone for, I think, 3.5 to 4 years, and we engaged.
It's almost a degree.
It's almost
And
a
they-
degree.
It's a degree.
Wow.
Honors.
And then the engagement was just wow. I think I got a 20-something thousand ring.
Wow.
And then things just happened. Things happened. And then I was left with the ring. I was left with quite a number of things of his, because I was more on the receiving end in that relationship. So what happened is, he was so much of a gentleman to say, you know what, you can take everything. The ring, you can do whatever you want with it. You can sell it. I did that because I just wanted to get rid of the memories. But it was a huge heartbreak. But I just had to, and I had to discard everything that I had of him, because I didn't want to have any memories. Even I actually blocked him on social media, because I didn't want to know what he's up to, what he's doing with his new life and what have we. Until at a time I was ready to talk, because he kept on reaching out, until I was at a time I was ready to speak out for closure purposes. And that's when I think I unblocked him, and then we started talking, and now I think we're basically friends. Yeah.
You
I
can
won't-
be friends
I
with
won't-
your
I-
ex.
Yes, I am. I can't talk about other relationships, but that one was the worst, and I acquired quite a number of things, to an extent that some of the courses that I did, he's the one who paid for, but I can't tear off my certificates. I can't do that. I can't do that. So, like what Donald was saying, to say sometimes you put investment into a relationship, and there are things that you can let go. Then there are things that remain with you. If they add value to you, you can't let them go. But then if they don't, if they affect the current relationship that you are in, it's rather you let go and focus on the current, rather than hold on to something that is way past and it's affecting your current relationship.
Okay. So do I have to go to my social media? Because sometimes we get excited as people. We are posting all these, our vacations, our pictures and all that, those memories. And Facebook has weird ways of reminding you of those memories. You just find a pop-up on your screen. It says that reminder of a memory at this stage in your life. Do I go back and then do I do like a cleanup of the pictures and anything that can trigger me from whatever that has happened in those previous relationships, or what?
I think it depends with where you are with your current relationship. The reason why people put down pictures is because they don't want the memories. And the other reason is maybe your current partner is not okay with seeing you with another person, maybe in a cozy position. In as much as we accept that everybody has a past, we need that assurance that you are over that past and you are with me right now. I think that's the reason why most people tend to put them down. But then I would want to say this should be at your own discretion. If you feel it's harmless, you leave it. But in most cases, maybe 85% and above, normally your current partner might go back to your pictures, and then there are certain things that maybe you were doing and you are not doing anymore, and then it will pose so many unnecessary questions. Why is it you were posting them and you don't want to post me? I want to believe when you are in a relationship, you evolve and you change certain things that affected your previous relationship. You don't want them to affect the current relationship. So if maybe you were a social media person prior to the current relationship, and then now you see that maybe the third person singular perspective that was happening then, you don't want it now. You just want a discrete relationship. It might cause unnecessary confusion with your current relationship.
And like you're saying, sometimes we are not so 100% transparent when we enter into the new relationship about our past, because we feel like some of the details, they are not necessarily relevant for the present. And imagine when, like you're saying, this person does not know another part of your life that you have left when you're trying to evolve. So it kind of like gonna trigger a lack of trust in the relationship, because now this person will start feeling like, I don't really know you fully well.
I agree with you.
You remind me of some time in some other relationship. My partner then went to my Facebook, and I had not done and gone through all these things of deleting things and everything. I just didn't have the energy for that. And I was just looking for some reserved, quiet woman, everything like that. It turns out the quiet woman had to go back to my Facebook since 2010.
Ooh.
And would find a liking pictures that were taken in 2011. Even those that were in a relationship.
10 years ago.
And they've put a comment like, wow. Wow.
That is psycho.
It's
psycho.
It's weird. It's weird. But in a way, they're trying to communicate a message. They're trying to show up that they are with you now, and they also want to be present in your life. And they don't see themselves when they look at everything that relates to you. They see your past still showing up. They still see a lot of email addresses, even passwords. There are those fun passwords you can actually write and set and put this other person. Then one day you so happen she asks for the password. Maybe it's for your and then for the laptop.
And you find it's the ex's
And
name.
you find his ex name and a mix of your surname or something. So yeah, what I'm saying is, I think it's very good to be honest about yourself when you move on, because why we have these challenges, many of these, is our past always follows up on us, because we never want to go through the healing process before we jump in another relationship. So we get there while we are not prepared. We want to be excited. We want to delete the past so much so that we can't wait to be somewhere else. And it turns out we are not there yet. We have not got that healing that we thought we have. So let's go over the healing process first. And I think this will ease how we deal with past experiences, past properties and assets acquired.
Is it just about us moving past that, or do we also hold on to these things because we kind of like unsure of where we are going, and we still have a hope that in as much as this thing has failed for now, there is a likelihood that in the future we might rekindle something, and then we can carry over the memory?
The thing is, when we are in a relationship, there are about, I think, 4 things that are involved. You invest financially, you invest spiritually, you invest emotionally, you also invest mentally. So I think we are talking about the financial aspect, where we are talking about material things. So what happens is, you can't detach the financial aspect from the mental aspect. You might get rid of these things physically, but mentally you need to process.
Yeah.
So the reason why we keep these things, the reason why we hold on to some of the things, it's because our emotions, they don't just, subconsciously, our emotions, they just don't let go. It's a gradual process. And you'll be giving yourself time and assurance that I really want to get rid of these memories. But then, it's very hard to erase certain memories, especially if they are bittersweet memories. It's very difficult for you to get rid. It's not that you are keeping them so that you have hope that you get back with the person, but you're keeping them because you want to remind yourself of how a wonderful person you are, not the next person, yourself. You want to convince yourself that it wasn't my fault. It was the next person's fault, regardless of what happened between the two of you. So before we speak about getting rid of these things, you need to, like what Donald was saying, you need to heal first. You need to erase certain things first so that you don't bleed on the next person. So that's the reason why we hold on to certain things. We keep on holding to these things. We keep on holding to memories. We keep on. If that person helped you to grow spiritually, you find some people go to an extent of even leaving the church that you two guys were going to together because you do not want those memories, and it's going to hurt you spiritually. Mentally, if you were a broken person before and that person came into your life and mended all the broken pieces together, you just don't want to let go because they took you from one level to another level. So that's the reason why we keep on to such memories, because we want to assure ourselves, we want to convince ourselves that, no, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. So it takes time.
You know, from what I'm hearing you say, you're talking about grief.
Yes.
You're saying that as a relationship ends, we actually go through the process of grief. And it's a transition. Sometimes we have to hold on to the old memories for a certain period of time. Yes, we have accepted that this relationship has ended, but letting go of the memories, that's the part that's going to need more energy, more effort and time.
We have developed a perception that your ex is your enemy.
Yes.
And as Vimbai was talking about, people who come in life, then they actually mend the broken pieces of your life. Have you ever realized that sometimes the people who you ended up dating, where you weren't supposed to date them, they were supposed to be friends,
Okay.
and you only realize that after this relationship is over, that you actually good as friends. You actually do good things as friends than we could be in a relationship. So it's also good for people to be aware that there's a possibility, right, to keep on communicating, to keep on engaging, even after this relationship is over. Because, like Vimbai was saying, there are people who actually build you. You know, this person is an expert, is a business consultant, and you just started the business. And your present boyfriend knows nothing about the business. So should you go broke now? should you delete the phone number and go broke now and not seek advice where it's necessary?
Yeah, you are robbing yourself.
You are robbing yourself.
Yeah.
So this is why it's very important to understand. So it's always good to actually come out open and know what to keep and what to lose and where you benefit, and not let your pride and emotions in the way.
You are addressing the person who's actually leaving the relationship in this instance. I want us to also help the one who's feeling hurt because I'm still maintaining that relationship. What can we say to help them? Because they have their own traumas that they are dealing with, or their own insecurities that they are carrying over to the relationship now. It's now like, I'm not being trustworthy, I'm not being straightforward, but it's not about me just ending the relationship and then cutting the connection because the relationship has ended. Like you're saying, there are certain relations that you need to carry over. So how do we address this partner? The one that I'm supposed to prove to that it's not about me still being connected to this person.
I think it will be, in my own opinion, it will be very inappropriate that we break up this month, then next month I have a new boyfriend, then I'm friends with my ex already. It will be very questionable, in my own opinion. I think for us to actually get to that level that I'm friends with my ex, maybe after I have healed, I found closure, we have spoken about it, then we actually be friends, Because to just say today we break up, tomorrow like, yeah, we're not meant to date, let us be friends, it's a lie. So I think the question I would actually love to pose is, what is asking for too much? In your current relationship, you are now friends with your ex, and then your current partner says, no, I'm not comfortable with it. Are you willing to accommodate your current partner in this regard, or you like, no, you are asking for too much?
I think that is very subjective to how this relationship started. People lie to each other when they start the relationship. This is why we have a lot of problems later on. It's very good to be honest when you start your relationship. Look, so and so we had the relationship, but we also had the business relationship. Some of the clients that I have, they actually give me the clients. They actually do the marketing for my business. Is it okay that I continue on this aspect of my life? Then your partner and yourself will work on the parameters of communicating if they need be.
You are mentioning a good point that we do not discredit. But normally, when a relationship ends, one person is still emotionally fond of the other between the two parties that have ended the relationship. So yes, they might be helpful in the business aspect, but they are still having certain emotional hope, or I don't know, whatever it is. And they are hoping that in maintaining a certain level of connection with you, something is gonna come out of it. It always happens that way. So how do we keep the lines clear here to say, look, this is just about this, it's not about that. We all have a point of weakness and we all have our strengths.
You're taking me to a topic where we'll say, did that relationship end, or the other person left the relationship and left the other one in it?
I wanted to say something on relationships. This whole thing of breaking up and then going into the next relationship while you're still attached to the other relationship. You know what? The problem is we jump certain stages from attraction to love. You forget what's in between. So
Okay.
the moment that you are attracted to someone, I would want to put it across this way. You're attracted to someone, you appreciate someone, you tolerate someone, and then you like someone. And then that like when it has reached a higher level, that's when you start loving someone. So along the lines where you are appreciating, tolerating, and you need to know that you need to give it time. So if I'm coming from a relationship, the moment that you are attracted to me, you are appreciating who I am. Are you going to tolerate that I am still communicating with my ex? The bond that I have with my ex is strictly friendship now. There are no strings attached. And then if I'm going to tolerate that, then I'm in a position to say no. I like you. I like you for who you are. And even if then later on you're going to discuss, to say, even if when you're going to put it on the table to say, no, the reason why I'm talking to my ex, the reason why I have certain things, because I'll give an example. For me, I still have hoodies. I've got sweatshirts that are written totems. So obviously, if I'm going to get into a relationship wearing a totem that is not mine and that is not my boyfriend's totem, he's obviously going to ask questions. Whose hoodie is that? Where did you get it from? So if you appreciate that I had a past and I am in the process of letting go, then you won't have any problems. You won't even have any questions. And I think the issue of trust has to come in, because if you trust your person to say, no, this person loves me for who I am, and this person is in this relationship and has forgotten about the previous relationship, you are in a position to move forward.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was very powerful. So now, what do we do moving forward? How do we help the current partner's feelings that we can't ignore, for those that are hurting emotionally?
We discuss.
Yeah, and I
You
think
talk about
respecting
it,
each other's
yeah.
feelings.
Yes, we need to the problem is there's this whole thing that is there these days that's trending, that you just ghost someone. If you you don't love someone anymore, you just ignore them and move on with your life. You leave them. They remain in the relationship, like what Donald was saying, they remain in the relationship alone. That breaks people. That breaks people so hard, to say they're giving so much energy into the relationship, and then someone just decides to ignore. So I think the relationships that we are talking about right now, it's not the teen relationships. You're talking about mature relationships, because if you're going to be in love, I want to believe it's mature acceptance of imperfection. And then when you get to an extent that you can't accept that imperfection, you need to speak with the person, sit down, discuss your differences, discuss where you are not happy, discuss why you want to end the relationship, make the next person aware, so that if there is a chance of unlearning certain habits, they don't have to do it over a night or over weeks. You give them chance to maybe amend whatever, but then when you get to an extent to say, no, I can't do this anymore, sit down with them, let them know where you're coming from, let them know why you're ending the relationship, so that even if they remain with emotions for you or they remain with feelings for you, they are in the clear that you ended the relationship. We might be speaking about anything, holding on to things and what have we, but I think the first step to being true to yourself is saying, I have ended this relationship. I'm getting into this relationship. I don't want anything that is going to hurt the next person, or any questions that are going to emanate from the things that I'm holding on. So you need to be true to yourself. Get rid of the certain things that, in as much there are certain, like we spoke earlier, there are certain things that you can't just get rid of, like assets. But then if they are material, small things like clothes, you can get new clothes. If they are phones, if you don't have money, why should you get rid of that phone? You keep on using it until maybe until you get money to replace it. But I'm saying the small things, I think there are small things that you can get rid of that cause, and I think it's these certain small things that your next partner can see day to day. But then if it's asset, it takes time for you to get rid of those things. But transparency begins with you being true to yourself before you utter it to say, no, I was in a relationship, acquired this and that. You need to be true to yourself, because that's what's important, to convince yourself that you are done.
All right, I would love to take this chance and opportunity to thank our guest who joined us today, Vimbai and Donald. Thank you guys for taking time off to be with us. And I also want to just summarize it that, like we said, in a new relationship, if you're starting a new relationship, be considerate of the person you're getting into a relationship with. Communicate, know what they're comfortable with and what they're not comfortable with regarding your previous stuff, if you still have those things. Before you actually get into a new relationship, heal yourself, find time to be with yourself and go through the events that led to the breakup, or go through your emotions, process your emotions, be comfortable with yourself, to actually sit yourself down and call yourself to order. Sometimes it's not always the other part's fault that the breakup happened. And
it's not your new partner's responsibility to heal your past trauma.
To heal you, yes. Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for spending time with us.
For more on our episodes, on these relatable conversations, powerful and empowering messages, and access to these discussions on actionable tips, please check us on our website, www.realoutloud.co.za, or other podcast platforms such as Google Play, iTunes, and many other. Our episodes are also accessible on social media platforms indicated on our website and our YouTube page. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and invite others to our web page. Ciao!